Hello and welcome again. Today we're going to do the video on breathing. Why is breathing so important, you may ask? Because it's one of the pillars of yoga. It's one of the ways that your body circulates energy, not just oxygen, into the 5 bodies. And so it becomes very important to breathe deeply from here, circulating it up, and not just do the shallow breathing of the upper lungs. There's different techniques that you're going to review today. You don't have to do them all at once, and you can pause in between. I will just demonstrate each and every one of them. Don't worry, some of them may require you to have a little bit more work than others. Some of them are a little bit harder to master than others, but that's okay. You have all the time in the world. So the first breath should be the breath of life, right? So you should start with a very deep breath. Now I want you to take a deep breath, and I'll inhale, and when I'm done exhaling, I'll let you know. So you can realize how many breaths are you taking while I take one. Okay. That's one breath. In order to breathe this way, you need to calm your breathing way down. But it's hard to do if your lungs have atrophied or have been pushed down with years of secondhand smoke, or even your own smoking, or just not using them. This part gets filled with heavy hair, and we need to cleanse that. Which brings me to the second breath. I would like you to do the cleansing breath. Now observe first before you try to do this. You should be sitting with your knees on the ground. I can't do this, I'm outside, but it's easier because you'll keep your posture really nice and straight if you do that. And as you breathe in, I want you to use your stomach muscle to exhale the air out. Imagine that you're getting punched while boxing, right? So nice big comes out. Okay? The reason why we do that is we're contracting all the muscles that are down here in order to really push whatever is in the bottom of the lungs here in order to breathe better. This was very handy because it saved my life. One point we stayed in a camper that was leaking gas and we didn't realize it, and our lungs got heavy with the gas, and the gas, being heavier than hair, stored itself at the bottom of the lungs. And the only way to get the gas out was to cough a lot, and this exhaling breath, this cleansing breath, really helped a lot. So it goes like this, and you do it 27 times. I recommend the first time you do this, you do it with your mouth. So you realize how much air you can exhale at once. Once you become familiar with this practice, you will exhale through your nose. So make sure you blow your nose up before you start doing this. N'est-ce pas? And so it will look like this. And you can come along if you like, but the contraction may look like I'm moving my shoulders, but I'm not. It's really all down in the stomach area. All your abdominals, the sides, and the center is what's contracting to push the air up. Okay? So now, through the nose. actually a lot harder to do sitting than actually sitting on your feet, kneeling down. So take that into consideration. So this is your cleansing breath. Now what you've done is you really pulled all the garbage out that was stored in the bottom of your lungs. Now we're going to do a life breath again. So I'll explain how do you breathe this way. You breathe in down here, you're pushing the air. So don't be afraid to look pregnant or look fat. It's about pushing as much air as you can in your lung. And then filling the top of your lungs without exhaling. And then exhaling from the belly button. And the top of your lungs. Until you're completely out and you're going to gasp for breath. We often breathe before we're done exhaling. It's important to slow down your breathing. Now, while I'm talking and doing this video, it's really hard to breathe through my nose and talk at the same time and regulate the breath. But I'll take 3 breaths with you and show you what that would look like. Okay? That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Slow down your breathing. Now the next one, it's called the ocean breath. Ocean breath is great if you're getting really hot, to exhale the heat out. And that one is a mouth breathing exercise. You breathe in through your nose to build heat up. So if you're cold, if you're having poor circulation, go with the nose breathing. If you're really hot and you need to cool down, exhale with your mouth. That's why in yoga, we encourage people to breathe through the nose, because we're trying to build heat, not release it. With ocean breath, you're going to be making a sound. It's the sound of the wind near the ocean, hence the name, ocean breath. It's not a whistling sound, right? So don't try to make sound by whistling. Focus on your breathing, opening the throat chakra. And while you do that, a sound will come out. And it's not a creepy mouth breathing either, like, right? It's going to be like the wind over the ocean. And it sounds like this. It's very quiet, very subtle breathing. You're exhaling a lot more air, so it takes a lot less time to do your breathing. But it calms you. So, a nice deep breath in. Notice it's not a whistling, and it's not a right? It's really about opening your throat chakra. One more time. I like to do this one 4 times to honor the 4 directions. There you go. Ocean breath. Now, the other breathing you will do is to activate your left and right brain. We either tend to use one or the other. Rarely do people have a balancing of their brains. They're either creative, artistic, imaginative, or they're mathematical, precise, organizational person that likes things tidy and organized and precise. There are two very different types because they tend to use either or one brain or the other one. This is a fabulous exercise that feeds oxygen to both brains, activating both brains. This is an important exercise before meditating. In the yoga, one of the branches is the breathing, because you're preparing your body for meditation. So you're making sure it's well oxygenated. And now you want to make sure that both brains are working, because if you have a question you're meditating about, if you're looking for an answer, if you're trying to use your intuition to find some answers, well, both brains should be active in the search for this answer. Both brains, not just one. Because meditation is about being inspired. Meditation is about getting answers to your question. But not forcing the answer, allowing the answer to come to you. And those answers may come from the brain you're not used to, which would make sense, which is why you're having such a hard time finding a solution, because it's not the brain you normally use and work with. So, you will join your two fingers, your middle finger and your thumb. And you're going to run them around the ridge of your finger, and you can fold these two out of the way. You're going to put them at the base of your nostrils, and then you're going to plug one nostril and breathe in. And then you're going to plug both nostrils, and then you're going to hold, and then you're going to open the other nostril and breathe out. You're going to stay like this while you breathe in. Plug, hold, release, breathe out. That is considered one cycle. You should do multiple cycles of this for this to work. You can't just do one and think everything is going to be okay. So, let's do some together. Again, we run the fingers down to the base of our nostrils. We plug the one with the thumb, so whichever hand you're using, and breathe in. Plug and hold, release, breathe out. Breathe in, plug, hold, release, exhale. Now, as you're becoming familiar with this practice, inhale. You may hold longer than just a few seconds. Gradually increase the frequency of your hold, which means for 1 week you just hold. The second week you can hold for 5 or 10 seconds. If you do your daily practice, you should get to 30 seconds easily. This will help you with the breath of life of holding, relaxing, and circulating. If you get confused, go back to the beginning. Plug with the tongue. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Exhale. Inhale. Plug. Hold. Release. Exhale. Don't worry. Holding for a few seconds won't kill you. We're such in a rush, and we are trying to stimulate something inside of us. This, for some of you, will stimulate a fear. Control the fear. Understand that the fear has no foundation here. You are safe, and you can breathe slowly. So you have the breath of life, you have the cleansing breath, you have ocean breath, and you have the two brain breathing. And for today, that is plenty. So I thank you very much for your attention and keep doing your daily practice. Namaste.